싫어.
Okay.
Sorry, Bob. What does it mean to be rupanuga, right? You know Rupa Goswami?
No.
Just say yes. He is the main follower of Lord Chaitanya. Right? Well, main follower. In the sense, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him too much responsibility. So the Gaudiya Vaishnava teachings are three. Sambandha Bhagavan, Abhideya Bhakti Hoy, Krishnera Prema Prayojan, Veda Tritatvik Hoy. The Vedas discuss three subject matters. Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan. And this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. Sambandha Bhagavan. Sambandha means everything have a relationship with Bhagavan. To see something separate from Bhagavan, improper. Even the illusory energy Maya is also Krishna's Shakti. Right? So whatever we see in this material world, whatever we see in the spiritual world, and the jivas, everything animate and inanimate, conscious, unconscious, material, spiritual, whatever you find, all have one starting point. What is that? That is Krishna. So this knowledge is called Sambandha Gyan. Because of lack of knowledge of Sambandha Gyan, the jiva moving in birth, death, old age and disease. Who am I? I am Krishna's servant. Who is my wife? Krishna's servant. Who is my son and children? Krishna's servant. What is this world? This is Krishna's samsara, Krishna's creation, Krishna's world. So this whole knowledge, Sambandha Gyan, Tattva Gyan. Everything belong, everything come from one point. And Krishna says, Aham sadhavasya prabhavo madras sadhavam pravatite iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Krishna says in Gita, everything material and spiritual comes from me. So this knowledge is called Sambandha Gyan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave all these instructions to Sanatana Goswami. Therefore Sanatana Goswami is called Sambandha Acharya. He's the Acharya, the Guru of presenting this knowledge in the world. Sambandha Gyan. Then next comes, if I am related to Krishna, what's my relationship with him? If everything comes from Krishna, everything has what relation with Krishna? So that is called bhakti, devotion. So who's in charge of devotion? That is Rupa Goswami. Means if I am Krishna's servant, how do I develop my relationship? How do I serve him? So Rupa Goswami was given responsibility for that. And what is the goal? Prema. Then that was given to Raghunath Goswami. Showing in this world how someone can taste the highest ecstasy of love of God. That example is Raghunath Das Goswami. So especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this world to give what? It says, Prem jas nirjas korite swadan rag mag bhakti lok korite pracharan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give, to taste something for himself, what? Siradaya, pranaya, all these things. What is the glories of Radhika's prem? What is my own sweetness? What happiness she feels in my service? These three things Krishna wants to taste. So these three things for himself. But Krishna also wants to give something. What he wants to give? Prem ras nirjas koritya swadan. He wants to understand what is the glories of his own prema, means Radhika's prema. And rag mag bhakti lok korite pracharan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give, distribute. Pracharan means to prachar, to preach, to distribute Braj Bhakti. Right? He came to distribute Braj Bhakti. Braj Bhakti. So which is Braj Bhakti? That is four type. It said, Yuga Dharma Pravatimo Nam Sankirtan Char Bhav Bhakti Diya Nachimu Bhuvan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to distribute four things in this world. How? Through Hari Nam Sankirtan. He came to preach Yuga Dharma of Hari Nam, but this is only secondary. What he really came to give, he came to distribute Braja Prem through Hari Nam Sankirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Ram, Ram Ram, Hari Hari. And through this Sankirtan, he came to distribute four types of Prem. Yuga Dharma Pravatidu Nam Sankirtan Char Bhav Bhakti Diya Nachimu Bhuvan. He came to make the whole world dance with these four types of Prem. Das, servant mood. Sakya, friendship mood. Vatsalya, parental mood. And this Madhurya Ras, this conjugal mellow. So So Mahaprabhu came for these 4 things. Means Rupa Goswami's responsibility was how the jiva can develop these 4 things through sadhana. Right? Therefore he says, Sri Chaitanya manobistam stapitam yena bhutale swayam rupa kadamayam dadati swapadantikam. I give pranam, I think Narottam Thakur wrote this verse, and I give pranam to Rupa Goswami. Why? He understood the heart of Lord Chaitanya, the manobis, the innermost intention of Lord Chaitanya. What was the innermost intention of Lord Chaitanya? To taste something and to give something. Madhusudana Maharaj gives an example, like when a bear, he breaks open a beehive. He's eaten 50, 100 kilos of honey. That's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tasting the mood of Radhika. But when he's eating all his honey, some drops fall from his mouth. So for an ant, 1 drop is like an ocean. So we are like the ants. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tasting and also distributing. So what is the process, how the jiva can develop that type of prema? What is the sadhana? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Man mana bhava mad bhakta. Think of them. But you can only think of someone if you love them. So someone may ask, well, Krishna, what is the process how I can develop love for you? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna not say anything. So Krishna came again in the form of the son of Mother Sachi. He appeared from her womb in Navadvip. To do what? To teach by his own example. What is this sadhana? Sadhan vina sadyavastu kehu nahi pai. Without the proper sadhan, you cannot reach the goal. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not wrote any books. So, what they say, this Shikshastakam. This come from his mouth in the ecstasy in Puri. But detailed instructions how we can develop that prema, this old Mahaprabhu empowered the heart of Rupa Goswami. Now, Rupa Goswami very much important. So these days, some people think to follow Rupa Goswami means only Manjari Bhav. No, they say this is rupanuga. But we want people to not misunderstand Gurudev's words. So we want to adjust things. Our thinking should be proper. Because many times a Vaishnava speaks something and maybe their mood we misunderstand. So 2 things we're going to talk about today. One is Siddhanta and one is personal mood. For example, when Gurudev started traveling around the world, when he came to the West, what he said? He would say, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, he traveled the whole world teaching everyone that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then Guru Maharaj said, I am traveling the whole world to teach everywhere that Krishna is not the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the son of Mother Yasoda. What does that mean? Did that mean that Gurudev went around teaching Krishna is not God, Ganesh is God, or Sai Baba is God? That is not the meaning. No? So Siddhanta, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but in Vrindavan, that bhav is not there. That mood is not there. Even Krishna says, I am God, still no one believes him. Right? If Krishna says, Mother Yasoda goes to punish Krishna, then Krishna say, hey, be careful who you're talking to, I'm Bhagavan. Then Mother Yasoda will take a stick. And Balaram may say, well, I'm Anantashesh. Then Mother Yasoda will say, why all incarnations only appearing in my house? Then she takes the broom and she gives a nice brooming to Bhagavan and Anantashesh. Means Krishna says, I'm Bhagavan. May Brajabasi not believe it. Even Krishna shows I'm Bhagavan. But like when baby Krishna ate some dirt and Mother Yasoda looked in his mouth. Then the report had come, Krishna is eating dirt. How much dirt Krishna ate? This much. The coward boys tell. So the point is, Prabhupada speaking about Siddhanta, Krishna is Supreme Lord. And Guru Maharaj speaking about mood. So sometimes it looks opposite, but it's not. There's a relationship there. That's why Jiva Goswami is so important, because the moods that Rupa and Raghunath discussed, the moods exactly like Uddhav saw, even the Vedas cannot find that. When Uddhav came to Vrindavan, he saw the ecstasies of Radhika there in Uddhav Keri. Then Uddhav explained, Asamaho Charanarenu Jusamaham Sham Vrindavan Kimapi Latao Gulmao Shadinam Dusaja Ajapataja Hit Bejo Mukunda Shruti Padabim Shrutibim Bijurameva. Uddhav prayed, I want to take birth as a tree, as a shrub, as a blade of grass. So when the gopis go to walk, to meet with Krishna, their foot dust come on my head. Why? Because the gopis have given up what is very hard to give up. Dustaja ajapatacha hitva. Like chastity of a woman, reputation, attachment to family members. The gopis have broken that and gone to meet him. So that love of the gopis, Shruti, even the Shrutis, the personified Vedas, searching for that. Means the Vedas know it exists, but where is it? They're also looking. So what the Goswami is explaining, this in Veda or not in Veda, ordinary person, even the Vedas can't find. How an ordinary person studying the Vedas will understand. That's why Jiva Goswami is so important, because the bhav, the mood of the Goswamis, he protected by Siddhanta. No, what the Goswami spoke, that is in Bhagavat Sandarbha. No, that is the proof. Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost. This Priti Sandarbha, Prem is the ultimate goal. All these, especially Priti Sandarbha, this Bhagavat Sandarbha, this showing all these things. So Guru Maharaj said the mood of the Goswamis is like nectar, but the writings of Jiva Goswami like a pipe, to protect that nectar. So we should also always be very careful. We do not take mood separate from Siddhanta. Like I heard Gurudev would say, all rupanugas are raganugas, but all raganugas are not rupanugas. So Gurudev's words, I think many people misunderstand. They think, all rupanugas are raganugas, easy to understand, but all raganugas are not rupanugas. They want to say that only those who follow the personal mood of Rupa Goswami, these are the real rupanugas. If Guru Maharaj said something like that, it is only according to this bhav, it's not according to Siddhanta. So I found a nice verse the other day. This comes from Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. And we are his line. We are his line. So his line means Gurudev's line. So in 1955 he wrote a series of essays that's called Rupanuga Bhajan Sampat, the wealth of Rupanuga Bhajan. So Gurudev also put that in his Hindi magazine. So as the editor of the Hindi magazine, 99% chance Gurudev translated it. As well as, of course, he's the editor, he would have read it. So Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj says, in the name of Rupanuga Bhajan, the Icharipaka Sahajas who have strayed from the path accept only Parakya Madhurya Ras as Bhajan. They have concluded there is no other ras such as Das, Sakya, Vatsalya and so on within Rupanuga Bhajan. This indeed reveals the Sahaja's cult of ignorance of Ras Tattva and its waywardness. So, who not accept Das, Sakya, Vatsalya and Madhurya Ras as part of Rupanuga Bhajan, then Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj said, what are they? Icharipaka. Icharipaka is a funny Bengali term. Like someone, when the jackfruit comes, now is summer season, especially in Bengal. So jackfruit comes very small, then it's growing. So someone's watching until it becomes very big, but before it becomes ripe, they jump up the tree and steal it. This is called Icharipaka. Means before it's ripe, not understanding, they steal it. So some people misrepresenting what Gurudev said in terms of bhav and trying to apply that to the Siddhanta. So those who do not think that Das, Sakya, Vatsalya and of course Madhurya Ras, these are all Rupanuga, then they are Sahajas. So we should not be Sahajas. So what are Rupa Goswami's teachings? So why I'm saying all this, I want to show that all moods, all are included in the teachings of Rupa Goswami. Especially what is Rupa Goswami's main book that is called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, or Rupa, the Bhakti Rasa is like an ocean, but Chakiteka Bindu. I'm just giving you one drop. Like we said, the bear, he's eating one drop of that fall. For the ant, that one drop is like an ocean. So that one drop that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave, Bhakti Rupa Goswami said, this is also like an ocean. Because a part of infinity is also infinite. Right. So what are the main teachings of Rupa Goswami? Unless we read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, we can't understand. If we're too lazy to read it because it's such a huge book, or probably more, there's no full English translation. No. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, he gave what this nectar of devotion, right? But this is just like a very condensed English version. Therefore, if we want to understand what is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, then very kindly, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has written Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Bindu. Even before his initiation, he wrote 3 books. Khan, Bindu, and he wrote a commentary on the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He wrote the Bhagavad Gita Khan, a little drop of, Khan means like a spark of the Bhagavatam, and Ujjvala Nilamani Kiran. Oh. So Khan, Kiran and Bindu, these 3 commentaries he wrote. So if we cannot read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, we can read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu. This is a condensed form of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. That was the first book Gurudev put out in English, his own book. It's true, before that people had made books of Gurudev's lectures, but the first book that Gurudev had translated himself, that was Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu. I mean, so much important book. So there it describes Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu. What is first? Anya Bilasita Sunyam Gyan Karmadi Anabritam Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Uttama. Have you read the commentary? Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu? I love it, just like partially there. It's on my bed. It's right next to my bed. Read it first. Every word. Anya Abhilasita. Why Sita? Sometime devotee in emergency may cry, hey Bhagavan, protect me. This is not against pure bhakti. Like this, every single word. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given an explanation what Rupa Goswami is talking about. And there he says, Bhakti Uttama. What is Uttam Bhakti? The highest. Uttam Bhakti is 3 types. Sadhan Bhakti, Bhav Bhakti, Prema Bhakti. So Rupa Goswami begins Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu with a full description of Sadhan Bhakti. Sadhan Bhakti is 2 types. Etu Sadhan Bhakti Duita Prakar Ek Vidhi Bhakti Aragunuga. Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sadhan Bhakti is 2 types, Vaidhi and Raganuga. So Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is a full explanation of the 64 limbs of bhakti. Where Rupa Goswami got all these from? Mostly from the Narad Bhakti Sutras and mostly from Padma Purana. But ordinary person, what power to collect all these things? So Rupa Goswami churned the what is it? Shastra Nipanos Kaivalyas Sadharma Samstapko. Nana Shastra Vitada Neka Nipanos Sadharma. When this Srinivasacharya wrote, they give pranam to the 6 Goswamis, they churn the ocean of the Shastras and establish what is Sadharma. Sadharma means here Vaidhi Bhakti. So the full 64 limbs of Vaidhi Bhakti, as well as that which should be avoided, 32 types of Seva Parad. There is also full discussion of Nama Parad. This is all in the category of Vaidhi Bhakti. So anyone who is following Vaidhi Bhakti can only do so if they read the books of Rupa Goswami. Because before Rupa Goswami, these things were not made into a separate compilation for the Vaishnavas. Rupa Goswami did first. So if I want to follow Vaidhi Sadhan Bhakti, whose books am I going to read? Rupa Goswami. So even those who are following Vaidhi Sadhan Bhakti, we can call them, we must also call them rupanugas because they're following Rupa Goswami's instructions. And by doing Vaidhi Bhakti perfectly without aparad, in the guidance of Vaishnavas, Rasik Vaishnavas, and hearing Harikatha from them, what will happen? Then ruchi will come after the stage of anatanavriti. And Rupa Goswami has also described that adal shraddha tata bhajana kriya anatanavriti nishtash tata, all these 8 stages of bhajan. This is also given by Rupa Goswami. So how the devotee moves from Vaidhi Bhakti to Raganuga Bhakti, these all Rupa Goswami's instructions are there. No? So finally, no, what is that? That verse, by hearing, one will develop a greed. What is that? In that discussion between Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy, no, by hearing, Koti Janma Sikriti Na Labhyate. By hearing from a Vaishnava, when all anatas are destroyed by the following Vaidhi Bhakti, a greed will awaken in the heart. No? This is called Braja Nimala Rag Sune Bhakti Khan Tar Lubd Tar Hoy Lubd Utpan Hoy Tar Bhagyavan. By hearing from Vaishnava, a fortunate soul will develop rag, greed. I also want to follow the Brijvasis type of service. Some by hearing Katha, I will be like Raktak and Patrak, the servants of Baba, Nanda Baba. They're in Dasiras. But in Braj there's no pure Shantaras, there's no pure Dasiras. No, that's only in Vaikuntha. Like in Venugit we hear that there are trees, but when they hear the sound of Krishna's flute, then tears come like honey. So they're not ordinary just Shantaras. They have like Vatsalya. Or, when Krishna walks, they give fruits like this. Oh, Krishna must be very hungry. Feed. This is Vatsalya Ras. No? Maybe some kunjas where Radha Krishna do their pastime. This maybe trees also in Madhura Ras. It can be like that. So in Braj there's... Huh?
But why not Dasya?
Just first is no pure Shantaras. And Dasiras is there, but not like Hanuman. What will Hanuman do? Hanuman fear to come to Braj if he see Madhu Yasoda twisting his ear. Hey, get your hands off my Prabhu with his club. So Hanuman stay away from Braj. What they're doing, I don't know, he stay away. So in Braj is no pure Dasya Bhav. No. There's Dasya Bhav but mixed with Vatsalya. Or mixed with Madhura Ras. No? Or mixed with Sakya. Like Nanda Baba has servants. Raktak and Patrak are most famous. They're servants of Baba. No? Their father served, like this. So but they have mood like father. They sit Krishna on their lap. No? They feed him. They do service. Maybe Krishna become angry. Hey, you guys are just dasas. Get out of here. Who are you to tell me what they do? What to do? Then Ratchakapatra would say, hey, sit here. How long you've been in this house? Krishna says, 3 years. Well, we've been here more than 53 years. So where's Sini do? Shut up, do what you're told. Yes, Krishna do like that. They're called Das, but actually they have power like Nanda Baba. They have the same power like Nanda Baba. So someone hear this, oh, I want to be servant of Krishna, but this type of service, very nice. Krishna also has dasis. No, they also like arrange Krishna's cloth, they like comb his hair, all these things they're doing, no, but dasiras. Then of course Sakya, they hear Krishna's friends are wrestling with him, Krishna's friends are fighting with him, Krishna's friends are sharing lunch together. I also want to serve like that. Then of what to speak of Vatsalya or Madhura Ras, no? So by hearing, and when by hearing anatas are destroyed, when anatas are destroyed, one greed comes. That greed is called Raganuga. No? So 4 types of Raganuga bhajan. Das, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhuras. So Rupa Goswami also described all about Raganuga sadhana. 4 types. No? Raganuga sadhana, what's the difference between Vaidhi sadhana and Raganuga sadhana? Externally, it may appear not much difference at all. You know, like a Raganuga sadhak will also go to Mangalati. No, they'll also chant Harinam. These are all limbs of Vaidhi Bhakti. They also go for darshan. They also sing. They also do Janmastami. But their internal mood is fully different. Rag is doing because of fear. Vaidhi is doing because of fear. If I don't go to Aarti, I'll go to hell. If I don't go to Aarti, I'll be kicked out of the temple. If I don't go to Aarti, I won't get breakfast. Out of fear, they're doing bhakti. This is also a great mood. This is also not small. But the Raganuga sadhaka is not doing because of fear. They're doing because of too much attachment for Krishna. But still, even though we hear the Raganuga sadhaka is not doing because of, they're not doing because of fear of Shastra. No? Shastra avadanamoy shraddha, it's called. No? What Shastra says, they fear that in doing bhakti, but Raga is not like that. Their devotion is called lobamoy shraddha. But still, even for them, there's Shastra. No? What does that mean? No? Guru Maharaj said, someone has greed to drink milk. I want milk. The next question, how do I get milk? Then he does research. I need a cow. Cow has to be pregnant. When baby's born, then I also can milk the cow. No. So Rupa Goswami has also given the sadhan, someone who has greed, how they're going to fulfill their greed. That's why Rupa Goswami's writings also are Shastra for the devotee, the sadhak of Raganuga Bhajan. I do whatever I like and Raganuga Bhajan will come. It won't be like that. So Rupa Goswami discussed all these things. 5 limbs of Raganuga sadhan. Bhav Moy, Bhav Sambandha, Bhav Anukul, Bhav Pratikul, Bhav Avirud. Guru Maharaj would sometimes rarely talk about this. No? Because who in this world is qualified for that? You know, who can in this world, who understands all these things? No? Bhav Moy. Devotee have one mood. I want to be mother of Krishna. So everything they do is with that mood, Bhav Moy. They're hearing, they're chanting, they're seva. That mood of Vatsali Ras is in all their activities. Therefore it's called Bhav Moy. Like you take a rasgulla, you take from top or bottom or the inside, that sugar is throughout the whole rasgulla. So the first limb of Raganuga sadhan, Bhav Moy, one stai bhav, one particular mood should be there. Bhav Sambandhi, what is related to their mood, they have special attachment to. No? This thing many people not understand. No? What's favorable, they take that. Like a swan. No? If you mix milk and water, swan not drink the water. What he drinks? Milk. She drinks the milk. So there may be many, many things, but what is favorable for their mood? Devotee extract that. No. No. For example, there's 2 Mangalatis, right? The first Mangalati is in the Kunjas when the Sakis wake up Radha Krishna. No? Radha Krishna don't want to separate, but sun is rising, Jatila and Katila are there. Many things to think, Radhika's reputation. So no, even though they do not want to separate, still by providence, they are forced to separate. No, that Mangalati is very early before the sun rises. Then Krishna goes home, take rest. No. Then whenever Krishna wakes up, when's that? After sunrise, Madhya Thota thinks, so late. Why Kanaya is still sleeping? Maybe he's sick. So she goes in Krishna's. Then Madhya Thota also wakes him and also does another arti. No? Oh, may no illness come, no ghost be in my son, no one give him a bad eye, may he be auspicious. Madhya Soda also does arti, but another same arti with different mood. So this is called Bhav Anukul. No? What's good for my mood, I take, and what's not particularly relative to my mood, just giving aside. No? Not disrespecting, but just giving aside. No? So Bhav Moy, Bhav Sambandhi, Bhav Anukul, like Ekadasi, Janmastami, these things are also favorable for my mood, accepting. Bhav Pratikul, which is not favorable to my mood, like association of like Mayavadis, all this type of stuff, you know, all these Brahmagyanis, this unfavorable. Meditating on Dwarka Lila. There's one thing called, anyway, many things not necessary, devotee avoid. And some things are not favorable or not against, like Goshala, cow seva, all this stuff. You know? It's not particularly favorable, it's not particularly against, it's like neutral. So devotee in the stage of Raganuga sadhana, all these things they have to practice. How are they going to practice if they don't know anything about it? The Raganuga sadhak, whose books is he going to read? Whose instruction he's going to follow? Padabja? Rupa Goswami. So the point is, Rupa Goswami, he's the guru of both the Vaidhi sadhaks, he is also the guru of the Raganuga sadhaks. And Raganuga sadhaks are 4 types. So that's why, especially, we talked about sadhan bhakti, then bhav bhakti, then prema bhakti. So someone coming from the stage of sadhan, kriti sadyat bhavasa sadyabhav nitya siddhasya bhavasa prakatam ridi sadyate. Rupa Goswami has described all this stuff. What is real sadhan bhakti? Real sadhan bhakti means devotee. He's qualified to see Krishna but still have some obstacles. The example, Bilvamangal Thakur. Rupa Goswami has given him as a definition of a sadhak. Means by force employing the senses and the voice and the mind, by force engaging it in the service of Krishna to achieve bhav bhakti, that is called sadhan bhakti. So someone who wants to mature their sadhan bhakti into the stage of bhav, they have to read Rupa Goswami's books. Even the Vaidhi sadhak, in Vaidhi sadhan there's also bhav and prem. So how to develop that, you'll also have to read. So what are the symptoms of someone in whom bhav has sprouted? Kshanti antikarat param viraktamana sunyata asabandha samutkanta sadanama ganaruchi ashaktastad gunak priti tad vasate stali. Rupa Goswami, how do I know someone's in the stage of bhav? If I do not associate with someone in the stage of bhav, how will I get it? You cannot. So also here comes the question, who should I associate with? What are the symptoms of a devotee in the stage of bhav? I have to know what to look for. Kshanti, very tolerant, no matter what happens, no problem. No, like Guru Maharaj said, we use atom bomb to kill the mosquito. Like Prahlad, so many disturbances there, but Prahlad, no disturbed. Antikalat, they never waste a minute of time, never waste a second. No. Like Didi, never waste 1 second. We have phone and everything, but she never waste 1 second. Away from Seva. Away from kata. Virakt, fully detached. Who is detached in this world? But full detachment, that can only be someone who's attached to Krishna. Mana sunita, they never demand respect. Asabandha, Krishna will give me mercy. Krishna will be kind to me. Samutkanta, always enthusiastic. Always, their enthusiasm cannot be crushed. Asakti Sadgunak, they're too much attached to hearing about Krishna. They have too much ruchi and harinam, too much attached to where Krishna performed his lila. So, all these 9 symptoms. No? So, if I want to go to Bhav Bhakti, I have to associate with Swajatya. Swajatya Ashray Snigdha, I should associate with the devotee who's more advanced than me, who's in the same line, and who's affectionate to me. It's all Rupa Goswami's kata. So what to look for? How do I know even what to look for? Rupa Goswami's given that. No? How you can go from sadhan bhakti to bhav bhakti. Then who can taste bhakti ras? Aho rasika bhuvi bhavika. Who can taste the Srimad Bhagavatam, the rasiks and those who are bhavik? No. Who will taste the Bhagavatam? 2 types, the rasiks and the bhaviks. Bhavik means in the stage of bhav. But even higher than the stage of bhav is someone in the stage of bhakti who's a rasik, who's tasting bhakti ras. No. Therefore, bhav bhakti is also another type of sadhan. How can I perform sadhan first to achieve bhav? Then how can I perform sadhan in the stage of bhav to achieve prema? These are all stages of sadhan. Therefore, how a devotee who has greed can now come to the stage of being a rasik? No, because bhakti ras is tasted by 2 types of devotees, the sadhak and the siddha. So Rupa Goswami not give all these descriptions, then how someone will taste bhakti ras. So Guru Maharaj give an example like lemonade. How much lemon to put in, right? How much mineral water, what else? How much salt and pepper, how much sugar? Right? Has to be a little bit exact, otherwise you put in, to make a 1 liter lemon juice, a lemonade, you put in 950 grams of lemon juice. Right? So what are the ingredients of ras? This may sound very high for us, but this is all, we have to come to that stage of doing sadhan with this mood, otherwise we cannot reach prema. So even though Guru Maharaj say just here, going in one ear and coming out the other, but still some idea we can develop. what is the sadhan? What practice do I have to do to achieve bhakti ras, to achieve that taste? Therefore, I don't want to choose sakiras because people get upset, and madhurya ras, we'll leave that for now. But like vatsalya ras, these also topics of bhakti rasamrita sindhu. How can we say vatsalya ras is not rupanuga? Because only Rupa Goswami describing all this. So he says, by Siddhanta. What is Siddhanta of Bhakti Ras? So he says like, Vibhavadya tu Vatsalya stai pushti upagataha eso Vatsalyata matra rakbo Bhakti Rasa Buddhi. I learned it yesterday. Just for this class, which I'm never going to give. Rupa Goswami said, when Staibhav, Staibhav means I want to serve in Vatsalya Ras. Right? So when the Staibhav of Vatsalya, Pushti means nourished by the ingredients of Vibhavadya. Vibhav and the other ingredients, the learned persons call this result Bhakti Ras. This is all Rupa Goswami's writings. No? So someone who has greed to achieve Vatsalya Prem, where are they going to go? Sri Sampradaya? Sai Baba's books? Where are they going to go? They have to go to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu because no other scripture describes this. So the Staibhav, that's the basis. Like in a lemon juice, the basis is water. Right? Actually, the basis is lemon. Right? So that's the mood. What are the ingredients? Then come Vibhav. Vibhavadya tu Vatsalya. Vibhav means that in which ras is tasted and that which is the cause of ras. Who is the taster of ras? Both Krishna and the devotee. So when Krishna is the taster, who's the cause of the taste? The devotee. And when the devotee is the taster, who's the cause? Krishna. Therefore, Vibhav have two divisions. That is called Alamban and Udipan. Ashraya Alamban means the reservoir of these feelings, that is devotee. Who are the reservoir of Vatsalya Ras? In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami describes. Who are the Ashraya Alamban of Vatsalya Ras? Nanda Yasoda. Don't forget, Nanda Baba has 4 other brothers. They're all uncles and aunties, like Upananda, his wife Tungi, Sunanda Bua. How many uncles and aunties Krishna has? No one can count. So these all, Krishna's grandparents, these all Parjanya, Madhyasoda's parents on her side, these all are Vatsalya Ras devotees. So they're called the Ashraya Alamban. And outside of Dwarka, there's even like Sandipani Rishi, Devaki Basudev, they're also Vatsalya. Guru is like father, we were talking before, not like husband. So the Ashraya Alamban means the devotees of Vatsalya Ras, and those devotees will think of Krishna in a particular way. So which Krishna? Especially baby Krishna, that is Balya form, Krishna in nappies, or Krishna running completely naked. Madhyasoda has put thick kajal on his eyes, she's tied some black thread around his waist, his little fat, his stomach, his buttocks, his legs, his arms. So when he moves, this fat little wobbles, very sweet. So this is how they meditate on Krishna. Especially there are things which give particular happiness to the devotees in Vatsalya Ras. No teeth. Like when the gopis are teaching baby Krishna, Vatsalya means to teach, to chastise. The gopis are teaching Krishna. Remember when you were small, A is for apple, B is for banana. So the gopis say, Krishna, this is nose. Point to nose. Then Krishna does this. Point to ears. Krishna does it. Point to belly button. Point to teeth. And Krishna begins crying, no teeth. This gives so much happiness to Vatsalya Ras devotees, right? This is all Udipan. And Rupa Goswami, he's not talking about Krishna having no teeth, but he's talking about this Udipan. especially ruchira, especially for parent, the form of the child gives so much happiness to the eyes. This is called ruchira. And Krishna, especially child, when they're very humble, this gives so much happiness to Krishna, this quality of Vinay, Krishna very sweetly and respectfully talking to elders like brahmanas and gopis who are old. So all of these qualities, Shamalata Krishna's dark complexion, this all gives so much taste and happiness to devotees in Vatsalya Rasa. So Rupa Goswami, he's describing all these qualities which give special remembrance, Udipan for Krishna. So we have Staibhav, Vatsalya Rasa, Vibhav, that which causes Ras to be tasted, and that which tasted Ras, that's Krishna and the devotees. Then devotee has what is called Anubhavs, ecstasies which follow that feeling in the heart. The feeling in the heart we cannot see, but you can understand some happiness is there, like when the devotee dances, when the devotee sings, when the devotee roars, when the devotee rolls on the ground. These are called Anubhavs. You cannot see the bhav, but the bodily functions of the devotee follow that bhav. So especially in Vatsalya Rasa, there's special Anubhavs. Rupa Goswami discusses all their Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Smelling the head of the child. Okay, when we get a baby in neck, what do? No one can resist that, right? Pinching this, smelling the child, embracing them, teaching them, maybe chastising them, right? These are all Rupa Goswami described. These are the Anubhavs of the ecstasy of the devotee in Vatsalya Rasa. Then there's Sattvic Bhavs. When there's Vishuddha Sattva, this pure bhakti touches the 5 elements of the devotee, there's transformations. Like when the Suddha Sattva touches water, the devotee weeps. When the Suddha Sattva touches the fire element in the body, the devotee changes colors or perspires. These are Astasattvic Bhavs. We hear about it in Chaitanya Charitamrita. When the Suddha Sattva touches the air element in the devotee becomes stunned, or their hair stand on end. So Vatsalya Rasa have all of these, plus one extra, milk coming from the breasts. This is also one, because the devotee's body is fully spiritual. So when they feel too much Vatsalya, how it expresses in the body, milk. So Rupa Goswami has described all these things. So how could it be possible that Vatsalya Rasa is not rupanuga? Because Rupa Goswami, if it's not rupanuga, why would Rupa Goswami describe it? So don't close the door. Don't lock the door. No? These other rasas also can be rupanuga. No? And if it seems Gurudev spoke something differently, he's only referring to personal mood of Rupa Goswami. No? So Gurudev said, all rupanugas are raganugas, but all raganugas are not rupanugas. Then Guru Maharaj gave the example, like Madhya Soda. Madhya Soda not follow Rupa Manjari. Right? Rupa Manjari has a different division of seva. So I'll read it here. I made little notes. If anyone has the mood of Madhya Soda, right, Subal or Sridham, or Lalita Vishaka, Chitra, the Astasakis, they are not Rupanuga. Guru Maharaj is not referring to the Siddhanta of Rupa Goswami's teachings. Here Gurudev is referring exclusively to the personal mood of Rupa Goswami. Right? Therefore Guru Maharaj said when he gave all these lectures here in 1997, Rupanuga means especially Rupa Goswami's own mood. So in that sense, people hearing this, people misunderstand, Vatsalya Rasa is not Rupanuga, because Gurudev said only those who follow Rupa Manjari, they are Rupanuga. That way people misunderstand the Siddhanta of Rupa Goswami and the personal mood of Rupa Goswami. No. So I just read one more time. If in the name of Rupanuga Bhajan, the Sahajas, the Charipaka, who strayed from the path, accept only Parakya Madhurya Rasa's Bhajan. They have concluded there is no other rasa such as Das, Sakya, Vatsalya, and so on within Rupanuga Bhajan. This indeed reveals the Sahaja's cult of ignorance of Ras Tattva and its waywardness. So when Guru Maharaj said Madhya Soda is not rupanuga, Sri Dam Subal is not rupanuga. Guru Maharaj is only referring to Bhav. So, the Siddhanta is all Gaudiya Vaishnavas, whether Das, Sakya, Vatsali and Madhur, all are following the Siddhanta and the teachings of Rupa Goswami. But not all of them are following the personal mood, but still they are Rupanuga by Siddhanta. No? Therefore, for example, if I said, all Australians are humans, but not all humans are Australians. And Japadas says, hey, Russians are not Australians. Is he trying to tell me that Russians are not humans? That is not the point. Understand? Mm. No. So when Guru Maharaj said, all Rupanugas are Raganugas, but all Raganugas are not Rupanugas, doesn't mean that other rasas apart from Padike Madhura ras are not Rupanuga. It just means they may not be following his own personal mood. Go Premanandi. Any question?
You said that in order to develop, we need to follow sadhana in particular mood, and how we can do it practically.
You have to wait for Anata Vritti.
Okay, gotcha. How can I get to Anata Vritti?
Have to. The main thing is hearing Katha from high class Vaishnava. That is the main thing. That is the fast way. Like again, we hear in the Bhagavatam, no? Mm-hmm. Anato pasanam shakshat bhakti yoga doksad loka atita vyudon chakra satvita samita. Who hears this Srimad Bhagavatam, then anato pasanam, all these anatas, they'll be destroyed by that person who likes to hear Katha. Mm. So main sadhan, we have to find Rasik Vaishnava, we have to hear from them. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. As well as, of course, following the 64 limbs of Vaidhi Bhakti. But this is also one of them. And that's the main one. No? Gogamaj would say, no. What limb of sadhan bhajan did Parikshit perform? He just did one. He heard Harikatha. No, we're not heard in the Bhagavad Saptaha of Sukadev Goswami. Parikshit Maharaj would stop the Katha and go for Arti. So the main process of developing Krishna Prema Kali Yuga is hearing Katha from high-class Vaishnava.
How to distinguish high-class Vaishnava?
Well, you have to know what to look for, right? What are the 9 symptoms of someone in the stage of Bhav?
So this is very high level.
But we have to look for that.
Stage of Bhav, it's like really...
No, this is called the sprout of Bhav. In someone whose heart's Bhav has sprouted, then these symptoms will be seen. How do you know? You have to live with them, right?
Exactly.
So live. Come in Kartik anyway.
I'll come anyway.
Then you see how Vaishnavas are living. No? Mm. They're doing one thing or saying one thing, doing another thing. Or is their Vani, their instructions in their whole life?
Yes, accordingly. Mm.
No. Therefore Mahaprabhu said, Chaitanya Nit. If Chaitanya Nityananda give mercy, then the mercy is you can meet these 2 forms of Bhagavat. There's a verse. No? Dui Bhagavata Sangye Kore Sakshatkar. By the mercy of these 2 brothers, Gaur Nityananda, you can meet the 2 forms of Bhagavat. Have you heard of this? Mm-mm. What are the 2 forms of Bhagavat? Duistan Bhagavat Nam Suni Matra Ek Grant Bhagavat Ada Krishna Kripa Patra. The 2 forms of Bhagavat are there. The book Bhagavatam, the Srimad Bhagavatam, and the Bhakta Bhagavat, the devotee Bhagavat. Like, who's more important, Sukadev Goswami or the Bhagavatam?
Bhagavatam?
Without Sukadev Goswami, no Bhagavatam. So Bhagavat, Sukadev Goswami is called Bhakta Bhagavat. He's the devotee form of the Bhagavatam. And the book Bhagavatam is called the Grantha Bhagavat. Mm-hmm. By mercy of Bhagavan, we meet these 2. Like Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, what is he? Bhakta Bhagavat. From his mouth, we hear the Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam manifests from his mouth. Right? So we have to meet someone who's on that level. The Bhagavatam manifests from their mouth. Like Gaur Govinda Maharaj, right? Like Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Like Bhaktivedanta Madhusudana Maharaj. This type of Vaishnava. You hear them speak, then you'll understand. Without mercy of Gaur Nitai, you can't understand. just lost, bewildered. But mercy of Gonitai touch you, then you can understand all these things.
What is primary? Our desire to meet? Or it's a mercy,
Both.
causeless mercy?
But mercy of Bhagavan you can desire.
Oh.
Mercy of Bhagavan you can desire. Hey Bhagavan, right? We don't know. We pray to Bhagavan, then Bhagavan gives us mercy. How? He arranges us to meet the Vaishnavas. More mercy means more higher Vaishnava.
Oh, wow.
More mercy, like some mercy we met Mahashakti. Mercy. But more mercy you can meet even higher. It makes sense. No? You can turn it off.
Yeah, okay, thank you.